Here's my audience. Alright. Is it good? Okay. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of recycling and the effects that not recycling has on our environment. The three main points I'm going to be talking to you about today is waste that are caused from not recycling, the environmental impacts caused from not recycling and from those wastes, and lastly, the importance and necessity and ease of simply just recycling. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is waste. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, in 2013 alone, Americans produced about 254 million tons of trash and recycled only 87 million tons of that trash, which leads to a 34.3% recyclability rate. So what that statistic means to you is that 65% of Americans do not recycle. Now, that's a pretty shocking statistic. I myself thought that most Americans recycled. It's such a common, such an easy thing to do, but apparently 65% of us do not recycle. On average, we recycled and composted 1.51 pounds of our individual waste generation of 4.4 pounds per person per day. So that leads to approximately 3 pounds per person per day of recyclable material that does not get recycled. That's going to add up to a lot of pounds per person per day, or just per person per year of recyclable material that is just going to add up in our landfills. So the second thing I'm going to talk to you about today is the environmental impact those wastes have on our ecosystem. According to Green Choices, some waste will eventually rot, but not all, and in the process they will become smelly and produce methane gas. Methane gas is bad because it is explosive and contributes to the greenhouse effect, which will affect global warming in our atmosphere. Also, a lot of people think that burning trash is the cure-all for the necessity for recycling, but actually incinerating waste can cause a lot of problems because whenever plastics are incinerated, they can create toxins such as dioxins when they are burnt, which will also negatively affect our environment and lead to the greenhouse effect and overall negatively affect our atmosphere. Throwing away things just simply wastes resources. It wastes the raw materials and energy used to waste resources and the money used to harvest those resources. Reducing waste will mean less environmental impact on the earth, less negative environmental impact, less resources and energy used, and overall will just save money. 91% of all plastics are not recycled, and a lot of those plastics end up in our ocean. Over 8 million tons of new plastic trash material ends up in our ocean every single year. Now, these 8 million tons of plastics that end up in our ocean every year create large masses of trash and plastic, like the one shown in this picture. This is just one of many giant floating things of plastic. This one alone in the Pacific Ocean is more than 2 times the size of Texas, to give you a visual of how much floating trash is actually in our oceans. Lastly, we will be talking about simply just recycling, the necessity for recycling, the ease of recycling, and the benefits of recycling. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, recycling conserves our natural resources such as lumber, water, and minerals. Now, just conserving lumber, water, and minerals equates to 1.57 jobs, $76,000 in wages, and $14,101 in tax revenues for every 1,000 tons of materials recycled. So overall, recycling is just going to save us money, and it's going to make money for Americans and create jobs. According to Infographic, the amount of paper and wood thrown away each year is enough to heat 50 million homes for 20 years. The number of aluminum cans landfilled has now reached 55 billion. Now, 55 billion aluminum cans is enough to fill the Empire State Building 20 times, just chocked full of aluminum cans. Americans throw away 200 million plastic bags per year, which is going to end up in our ocean and is going to negatively affect our environment overall. Now, a lot of people think recycling is a daunting task. It is unnecessary and it's just not really easy. It's out of the way. But recycling can be just as simple as getting another plastic bin to put in your house, set it aside your trash can, and use it strictly for recycling. And every time you take a trash bag out, take a bag out of recycling. I guarantee you, you will recycle more than the amount of trash you get rid of. So today we talked about waste. We talked about the environmental impact those wastes have on our planet, and we talked about just the simple necessity and accessibility of recycling. I leave you with this last statistic. Recycling and composting prevented 87.2 million tons of material away from being disposed in 2013. So in 1 year, the 35% of people recycling prevented 87.2 million tons of material from being thrown away and dumped into our ocean. So why don't you join me and recycle and help save our Earth? Thank you very much.